He's going to pick his nose every minute.
Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be giving a quick speech to Stephen and Benjamin. My name is Sergeant Larson, and I'm going to give you an introduction to mortar systems. I am an expert in direct fire infantry, MOS Q'd, which is a fancy way of saying that I am a mortarman. Other sources that I've used for this would be the FM 23-90 and the FM 23-91. Also, if you want additional information, you can check out Wikipedia, which has some nice pictures, and also globalsecurity.org. Things that I'd like to touch on in this introduction is simply the components of a mortar, how to put it together, and a scenario in which a mortar would be deployed and how it could quickly and effectively be deployed in a very short amount of time. The infantry systems that the infantry uses today would be the 120mm mortar, the 81mm mortar, and the 60mm mortar. They go accordingly in size, the 60mm being the smallest, therefore being used more commonly by more mobile units such as airborne or air assault units, and 120 is more commonly used with heavy truck units. First thing that you need to know about a mortar system is how to set up this mortar system. It consists of 4 main components, one being the base plate, one being the cannon, another being the bipod, and finally the sight unit. The crew that sets this system up consists of 4 people. The first man would grab the base plate, set it on the ground, and he would then grab the sight unit and prepare to attach that. While the next man is putting the cannon into the base plate, the third man is putting the bipods onto the cannon. The original man who put down the base plate is going to take and put the sight unit into the mortar. Now the sight unit has hash marks on it, which is often confusing because the mortar system is an indirect fire weapon, which most people think, why would you need a sight on there when you can't actually see the enemy? This sight unit is used purely for reference. You take 2 poles and put them approximately 50 to 100 meters out, and this hash mark that's in the sight has to be lined up. This serves as a reference point, so when you make adjustments, you have one object to go off of, so you're always consistent. Now, in an actual event where you would have to do this, the scenario being you're driving in a Humvee and you have your crew of 4 men, you would then get your call for fire, which you would pull over to the side of the road, followed by exiting, and the crew would begin to set up the mortar. While the crew is setting up the mortar system, the squad leader would be getting the direction of your actual point, because what you need to know is 1, where you are, and 2, where the object is. Once you know these 2 things, the crew would figure out the azimuth, which is the direction per compass that they need to point the mortar system in. Once they get it pointed in the right direction, they would then lay down the poles. The poles are set up, and the sight unit is pointed at these poles at a predetermined angle. Therefore, you would know that your mortar is in generally the right direction. Once you know this, you would begin to put a round down range. Once you put this first round down range, you can make adjustments. 60 seconds is all it should take to put the first round down range, and then beyond that it should only take 25 to 35 seconds to make adjustments, whether they're large or small. So all in all, between the time that you get the call and working between the group that spotted the enemy, it should only take maybe 3 minutes to get rounds on this target. This will put some insight into explaining why we still use these systems, even though they seem rather primitive, and often people think of World War I and World War II when you talk about these systems. Now, they have other benefits over heavy artillery. One is that they're a lot cheaper. 2 is that they can be set up very quickly and with less manpower than heavy artillery, and another is that being indirect fire infantry, if you have time to set up an actual position, you would be able to stick this in a recess in the ground and actually fire this being completely secluded, as opposed to weapons that need to have a direct line of sight. I hope this has been informative. This is a very quick introduction to mortar systems, and soon you will be able to get hands-on, and this will fall into place and make much more sense and answer a lot of the questions that a lot of people have when they first get introduced to the system. Thank you for your time.